There you go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the speaker interview series. I'm here with a very special guest. Very funny, very amazing, very brilliant man. His name is Anthony Prichard. Anthony, how are you, sir?
I'm great. It's Friday, and I've probably already done more before noon than most people do all day.
Yeah, and that's why we got to talk to you, man. We got to pick your brain, and we got to help people understand the importance of utilizing video in their business. And even if you're not yet in business, you got to keep up on these strategies because they continue to evolve. And if you ever get to that point where you're going to start a business, you got to know how to get yourself online on video. And Anthony's the man that's going to share how to monetize your God-given gifts using 1-minute videos. So I'm going to let Anthony kind of take it away. And to start us off, Anthony, why don't you share a little bit about your background, your story, and how you got into helping people, business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, expand their reach, expand their business using the power of video?
Well, I was in a corporate job, George, and I had a side hustle. And I think everybody in a corporate job has a side hustle that they're dreaming of or one that they're actually participating in. And I, ended up magnifying my side hustle to what it was bigger than my corporate job. And I think today corporations even support you in your side hustle if they really execute good leadership. I was down at GoDaddy in San Francisco 2 months ago, and I got to tour the offices with Stacy DiPaolo, and she said that GoDaddy was supporting her in her side hustle, and I was so happy to hear that because that is the kind of company I want to go work for. And if I'm going to work for any company, even now, as an entrepreneur, I'm going to work for a company like that because I know that they've got my back. So my story is that I turned what I discovered in the corporate world into my own baby, and it was video. I was in sales, and I was constantly trying to make introductions, and my manager kept telling me to work smarter, not harder. And, you ask yourself a question enough times, an answer comes up. And that's what I'm going to share with people when they come to the event is how to do what I've done. And I've just experimented with it so much and discovered that the most direct path to automating introductions is with video on the internet. And you know what they say, if you're not top of mind, then you're out of sight. And if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And if you're not top of mind, you might as well be on an island somewhere with a volleyball named Wilson. And not very prosperous or abundant out there on those islands, is it, George?
It's not. And so Tony and I have known each other for, I think, a long time. 7 years now. Is that roughly it? 8 years?
Yes. No, Facebook just told us it was 7 years 2 weeks ago.
7 years. Facebook and Zuckerberg knows all. And it's been so fun to watch you over the years evolve and expand and really find one of your God-given gifts, which is being on video and helping people get on video using their God-given gifts. And so I'm excited to have you come speak at the greatest year of your life, talking about how to monetize your God-given gifts using 1-minute video. And I'd love to know, I wrote down a few questions here. Talk to us more about what God-given gifts are according to you.
Yeah, well, mine sure isn't video, and that might surprise some of you, but I discovered through my background and just reflecting upon my experience that who I was at the core was somebody who really loved to compete and to lead teams. I was in a soccer role or athletic role because I played lots of different sports, and I really loved the dynamic that happened inside of a sports team. And I had so many different coaches, and I was watching all of them, taking a little bit from each one of them, learning what worked and what didn't work. And, I found myself in work. I don't know what work I was doing. Sometimes I was remodeling. I was a contractor. Other times I was in sales in the corporate world. And I said, what worked in those experiences? What can I see are my God-given gifts? Why was I drawn to do those things so well? And that's how I pick out what I can monetize. And Your monetization is your big why. And it's bigger than yourself. Some people say that do what you love and you'll never have to worry about getting paid. Well, I think that's actually wrong, because you do have to get paid. But the magnification of how you're going to get paid doesn't have to be solved right now. You just have to work for one person in a big way. And I think you can do that by being the expert in your corner of the world. You know, everybody has a borough that they live in, and everybody around us makes decisions to work with people that live close to them first. And it's just a natural subconscious decision-making process that happens. And it just so happens that YouTube dominates local search. So if somebody's going to type in lawn mowing near me or window washing near me, then YouTube is going to dominate those search results. And today, as a society, we're conditioned to use Google on a daily basis. Because weekly I go into audiences and I say, put up your hands for everybody that's used Google in the last 24 hours. And 99% of the time, 99% of people have their hands in the air. And so if we're not going to Google, if we don't know how to get on Google, then we don't exist. And we're not going to be top of mind when somebody needs us. Somebody's going to sit down at their most frustrated point and type in a word, and you need to show up on the first page of Google for that word. If you don't exist. So it's really your responsibility.
That's a really great point, you know, and if you're watching this, you want to be thinking, are you findable on the internet? Are you findable on video? Are you findable through a Google search? You're probably old enough to remember, you know, having those big, fat, thick phone books that if you wanted to find something, you just go to the letter in the alphabet that it was under, and then you would find it. I don't even know if they make those anymore. But if they do, they're a waste of time, because you're right, society is really conditioned to search for what they want on the internet. So Anthony, next question I have for you is what are the major objections that most people use, or the excuses and objections to not utilize the power of video more?
Yeah. Well, you know, I see people having access to this thing called video and not using it. I know that 80% people are voyeurs on social media and they don't engage. And why not? Why are they not engaging? And I think there's 4 major fears that people encounter when they come across something new and powerful. It's kind of scary, number 1. And there's fear of equipment. There's fear of technology. There's fear of cost. And there's fear of judgment. And these are the same 4 things that, when you understand them, when you overcome them, help you become better on video, or better as a communicator, a video leader. And it's what I'm going to share at the event. And I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to do step by step, and I'm going to do a live demonstration so that they can just copy me and make it in their own version. So using video is not as difficult as people make it out to be. You've already got the tools in your pocket, carrying them around with you, and we just need to use them in the right order. People
Anthony, is this one of them by chance?
Yeah, that's it. I didn't mention it was a smartphone. Yeah, that's it. So I'm excited to share it with them, George, because I use it all the time, and I'm actually in the running this year for the #1 best low budget campaign in the United States at the US Search Awards on November 7th.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's really, I mean, I've learned a lot from you with video over the last several years. And in fact, if you go to YouTube and type in motivational speaker, Portland, Oregon, yeah. I own the first page. And, you know, so much of that is because what I've learned from you. And so people are going to be able to learn the same strategy. And it is a lot more simple than people realize. So, you know, Anthony, will you touch on more because I think when people think, you know, video, they think cameras and lights and backgrounds and, like, you know, studios. And so can you talk to us more about how simple this technology has gotten for us?
Oh, yeah. Well, what used to cost $5,000 is now $5, basically. So I don't know if you remember back in 1997 when Napster basically like dropped the radio industry because they gave access. They gave a higher level of access, and it just leveled the playing field. And I feel like the same thing's happening right now in the video world. And 4K capability is now on our phone, as well as a stabilizing lens. And just to take this back 2 or 3 years in technology, a live stream, like a person in Hollywood who did the stable cam operation would have to purchase his equipment for $50,000. And then he would get hired at $1,000 a day. So it would take him like 3 years to pay back that Steadicam equipment. And now it's in our phone. You know, live broadcasting from a natural disaster or a parade or a marathon was only capable with a $500,000 news truck that had a big, you know, thing at the top and a telescope. And now our phones have the capability of live broadcasting you and your business and what you do, and just this evidence, which we call social proof. So be trained, be prepared, be ready to use it at the right time, because timing is everything.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. I know people are going to take away so much from you. So we talked about, you know, some of the objections that people have. I think one of them you mentioned is fear of being judged by others. Is that another one that you talk about?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one. And you know what helps? It's so ironic. And I'll give people a little taste of what it's going to be like to come to the event and to hear my talk on the last day after lunch. It's that I lost my train of thought there.
Fear of judgment. Fear of judgment. I think I was judging you, and I may have screwed you up or something.
It was a little nugget of how to overcome this. Oh, it was this. Use the video yourself and don't publish the video. The video is the best teacher. And the more you watch yourself, the better that you'll autocorrect. You don't even have to ask the question, what should I do to improve myself? It'll just happen. And the more you watch yourself, the better you get. And I commit to watching myself at least twice when I do a big program or a TV show. I don't know if your viewers knew this, but I'm the host of the Denver YouTube Professionals. It's a TV show that we produce on YouTube, and we invite guests on, and we just talk about ideas and the current events that are happening with video as a business tool.
Yeah. I mean, you've really exploded, and I love how many people you're helping to learn how to use video to help them in their business efforts, because man, it's not an easy thing these days, you know, but what video does for people is that it separates them from all the other people who are afraid and not stepping into doing this kind of thing for their video. So you talked about, you know, the fear of being rejected, fear of like the complications of technology. Is that one of them? What's the third one?
Cost. Doesn't cost always get people in investing in themselves? When they know they've identified something that's going to work, and just choosing. That's it too. Being able to make clear choices helps. And that's why I love your event, because you're going to help them do that all the way up into my lesson, which is more technical than anyone else's lesson. And so they're going to have that clarity, and they're going to know exactly what that keyword is. They're going to know exactly what script they're going to insert into the storyboard that I'm going to give them. And they're going to drop this pebble in the pond. And it's going to continue to create concentric circles outwards for their God-given gift, the thing that they were placed on this earth to do.
It's really powerful, man. You know, it's fascinating too, because I know a lot of people out there who are really gifted at what they do, and they've even found their gift, but they haven't set themselves up to win by putting themselves out there on video. I mean, I always look at video as like almost like your salespeople that are out there talking to people while you're off doing other things, and you've done a really brilliant job in leveraging yourself with video. Is there a fourth objection that people use?
Equipment and technology are the only ones I haven't covered yet. And the equipment's in your front pocket. I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to use my phone, and I'm going to project the phone screen on the big screen. So you're going to get to see exactly what apps I'm using, how I'm using them, how I'm moving picture frames around, and adding music that uses artificial intelligence. There's also some animated text apps that I'll be teaching you with, so that you can really grab attention and you can draw the right types of people in. That's the one thing I love about this technique, George, is that I only work for people that I like working for, because I pre-filter them with my videos. They know that by watching me, if they can work with me or not. And I know there's 1 trillion people out there in the world, and there's a lot of them that are a lot like me. And those are the people I want to work for, because my quality of life is through the roof. I can anticipate what they want before they want it. And I don't have to stress out, because they're not going to be jackwads, because they've already pre-screened themselves. So what do you think about that?
Well, I say don't be a jackwad if you want to work with Anthony. That's what I think about that. So, I think that it's important to talk about some of the statistics that are here as it relates to using video. I've even pulled up a few myself. Let me pull them up. But what do you feel like is probably the most important statistic that people need to know about utilizing the power of video that they don't know?
The most important part is the order in which to convey information and the way to get started. So they need a set of blueprints, something to go off of. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's not 10 years ago when this whole revolution got started. And people are going to judge. And so you can't avoid it, and you might as well prepare yourself. You might as well spend the time to educate yourself and learn the blueprints that work. And I've got a storyboard that has worked every time, every single time. I've never been said, write a script, and somebody said, oh my God, that sucks. You shouldn't be doing that. So that's what I'm going to give people.
It's awesome, man. So I did my homework before our interview, and I pulled up some statistics here. According to this site that I found, 74% of all internet traffic will be video by the year 2019.
Yeah.
It's 50 times easier to achieve a first page rank on Google with a video.
I got some for you.
Yeah.
So the 2 most popular websites in the world, do you know what they are?
They're slipping my mind. Google, I'm guessing, is one of them, but please.
And Facebook and YouTube, they battle back and forth. Out of the 2, Google and YouTube, do you know which one gets the most clicks and which one gets the most watch time?
I don't.
People are on and off of Google in a flash. People go to YouTube and they stay there. So the king for on-screen minutes in the internet is YouTube.
6 billion hours of video are being watched monthly on YouTube is another stat that I pulled up. 24 million US smartphone users watch video on their mobile device at least once a month.
You know what this all points to?
Tell us.
You have a business, you go where the people are. You got to swim with the fish.
That's right. 64% of consumers are 64% more likely to buy a product after watching a video about it. Can you speak to that one?
Yeah. And it's the number one thing I teach. I don't think I should give away the whole recipe, but it's the most valuable thing on any website. And it's a video testimonial. And you and I have something in common, George. We started our careers with being infused with and being educated with corporate training lessons. How to design the sale? What are the blueprints to the sale is what we got, right? And when it comes to video, it lowers the risk. We learned in sales psychology that people have this risk-reward decision-making process that they go through right before they click buy. And the measurement is, how big is the risk to how much I'm going to pay? If the risk is up here of not having a good experience, then I'm not as willing to pay. But if I can lower the risk to here, then it's more like a, across the waist or the table move. And it's because the risk is, I don't know what the result I'm going to get. But if they watch somebody who's just done what they're about to do, then the risk is lowered. And if they watch a video about the thing they're selling, the decision is even easier because they've just seen it being done. They can see the value that they're going to get. And you might say, well, I can't do that. None of my clients will let me bring them on camera. That's an excuse. And it'll limit you because there's plenty of outgoing extroverted people that love their transformations, that love their story, and they're looking for transformation to put it on camera too. This is video leadership. This is guiding people to using a tool that has the ability to be all places everywhere instantly. We've all got internet and the video on our hand. And it's eye-opening. It's really something I've dove into, and I've doubled down my investment in it because I don't want to wonder how to create a sale. I want to predict how my sales are going to affect my business month after month. And you can do that with the analytics on the internet. You couldn't ever do that with radio or billboards or television. But the internet analytics that are built right into YouTube and right into Facebook will tell you exactly how effective your videos are becoming. And that's your measuring stick. You can continue to make videos week after week. But first, you're just going to start with one a month, or maybe just one a year. But you're going to do one at the greatest year of your life in 2018.
Yeah, so, Anthony has spoken at multiple events that I've had, and he's always a crowd favorite because not only does he teach you great content, but he actually has exercises that give you the kinesthetic learning part of the process so that when you leave his session, you not only know how to do it intellectually, but you've done it, so it's in your bones. Yeah. And so when you attend the greatest year of your life, each day has a theme. So day one is called vision. And that's where we create the vision for our year. It's where we create the mission and the purpose of our year. We literally create vision boards of our year. And then we go deeper into getting internally aligned by creating your pillars of alignment. And then day two is called transform. And it's all about bringing different speakers and trainers and facilitators in to help you create transformation around the fears and the limitations that are currently stopping you. And then day three, once you've gotten past the internal fears and the blocks, we move into the how-to. And that's what day three is about, is really about, how do you take these different strategies and these different models to create traction in your life and start moving towards your goals. And part of the session that Anthony is bringing in is how do you get yourself on video? Whether you're in business right now, and if you're in business right now and you're not using video, you got to attend the session. If you're not in business yet, consider it research, because if you get to the point where you are ready to start a business, and typically what we tend to attract at the greatest year of your life are solo entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, trainers, facilitators, healers, and people who are moving in that direction of starting a business. And we also have people who work happily in the corporate world too, who get plenty of value out of the experience. You just got to take a look at, am I really leveraging myself to the best of my ability? And if the answer to that question is no, then you got to attend Anthony's session on monetizing your God-given gifts with 1-minute videos. So Anthony, I know we need to wrap up here. I know you've got a lot of things on your plate. What's one thing that people are going to learn? We've actually talked about quite a bit of it, but what's one specific thing that people will learn at the event that you didn't touch on today?
They're going to learn about my roommate, Mark.
Hey, Mark, what's up, dude?
No, I'm just kidding. He's a student at Denver University from Beijing.
Yeah.
And
Do some exercise.
yeah, he's staying in my room, and he's a great roommate. Thanks for saying hi to the folks at home.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Mark.
He's a cool guy.
I just love that. I love the random Asian appearances. I can say that because I'm half Asian, so half of me feels a little bit bad for saying it, but half of me is like, I'm cool. I'm half Asian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I'm going to teach him also? It's how to look for opportunities like that to make video fun and educational.
Nice. Because how much of the time are people like so serious they get very like all uptight before they create a video, and it's not even the authentic version of them?
Right. Exactly. I did that today, last week with somebody who'd never been on camera before, and it was impossible for me to calm them down, so I just didn't say anything. I don't know, impossible is the right word, but I did my best without.
You're also going to teach people how to rank on the first page of Google within 30 minutes. Are you still going to do that piece of it?
Yeah, that's the main piece.
Yeah, so you got to get your butt to the event. You got to come experience Anthony. Any closing words? Where can people find you, Anthony, if they're looking for you?
Yeah, learn more about me by typing my name into Google. I'm serious. That's the best way you're going to learn about me. Google knows your behavior, okay? And it's not in detriment. It's to give you a good experience. And if Google didn't give you a good experience, then you'd go somewhere else. And that's why Larry Page and Sergey Brin have a business, and they've got a yacht. It's a kick-ass yacht. I wish that I had this yacht, George. My cousin is one of the crew members on this yacht, and I'm learning about it. I'm thinking, these guys are badasses. Anyways, that's the one thing I haven't told them, that they can.
You're going to teach people how to get their own yachts?
Hey, if Larry and Sergey can do it, so can we.
There we go.
Yeah, search my name into the Google search engine. You'll find everything you want to know about me, and intentionally I've done it that way because I know that there's enough people out there in the world that will enjoy the experience of working with me, that I don't have to worry about being somebody else or being somebody different or being somebody who I think I should be or who I think I need to be. I'm just Anthony. And that's what the key is. And you're going to get it. You're going to get the blueprints. Remember? You can just follow the tracks.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you again, Anthony, for joining us on this special speakers interview series. I look forward to experiencing you again at the greatest year of your life. And for those of you who are watching this, just begin to ask yourself a few questions like, am I really leveraging myself in the way that I could in my business? You know, am I really stepping into technology in a way that I need to, because it's not going away? It's going to continue to expand and evolve, and those who don't step in and start utilizing it will get left behind. And, you know, really, we're leaving lots of money on the table if we're not stepping in and doing video. So come experience Anthony at the greatest year of your life and the rest of the 3 days and all the rest of the guest speakers. It's a super transformational experience. You can go to GYOYL.com. There might be a link below or above. But learn more about the event. We have limited seating available, so come and join us. We can't wait to have you as part of the community. And it's not only just a 3-day event. It's really a movement that we all support each other with. And we post our wins and we post our successes in the Facebook group, and we make sure that we're keeping each other accountable. And because it's not easy achieving your goals, but with the right accountability, with the right support system, it gets a lot more simple to do it. And utilizing some of the strategies that you'll be learning, like how to leverage yourself on YouTube with Anthony, is going to be a great way for you to gain traction.
Hey,
All right,
thanks
my
for having
friends.
me again, George. I really wouldn't be this level or this caliber of a spokesperson if I hadn't have taken your courses and continued to learn. Just get the nuggets from you on social media are so valuable for me. I am pulled, with your greater research and the work that you do, and that's why I'll always be a supporter of the greatest year of your life.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's awesome to be partnered with you. Looking forward to rocking it again in 2018. And for those of you who are going to be there, we can't wait to give you a high five, a handshake, or a hug. See you there, and stay tuned for the next speaker interview coming to you very soon.